Hello everyone, my name is Prajakta Joshi. I am a final year student of Electronics and Telecommunication. The title of our project is ECG classification using machine learning. My team members are Amruta Pavse and Mayank Pathak, and the project is guided by Dr. Mohan Naidu. The aim of this project is to classify if the given ECG data is normal arrhythmia or non-normal arrhythmia. There are various types of arrhythmias, and each type is associated with a pattern, and as such, it is possible to identify and classify its type. So, the arrhythmias can be classified into two categories. The first category consists of arrhythmias formed by single irregular heartbeat, called as morphological arrhythmia. The other category consists of arrhythmias formed by a set of irregular heartbeats called as rhythmic arrhythmia. This project aimed towards building a machine learning model using random forest algorithm to detect if the input is the normal arrhythmia or non-normal arrhythmia. So, what exactly is random forest classifier and how the database is loaded and how the accuracy of the model is calculated, this would be explained by Amrita.
Hello everyone. The project implementation is this. So we have first imported the cardiac arrhythmia database, which consists of attributes such as age, sex, height, weight, with ECG vitals such as QRS duration, P2R interval, QT interval. The whole data set has been divided into 16 classes, where one represents normal arrhythmia and other 15 classes represents non-normal arrhythmia. These non-normal arrhythmias are such as supraventricular premature contraction or atrial fibrillation. So these are the 16 classes with occurrences. The non-normal arrhythmia occurrences are 207. The whole data set is now classified into two categories, that is normal and risk, as normal represents a normal arrhythmia and risk represents the person which is at a heart which is at risk of heart failure. They are the instances are 245 and 207. Then we have printed the age occurrences. These are the age occurrences, but in age occurrence, with age 0, the height is 608. This is not possible as age 0 can be considered as baby. So a 608 is converted to 61 centimeter. Same with height attribute, where 780 centimeter height of age 1 is not possible. We have converted into 78. There are 280 features, where some features have one level cardinality, where these features have non-informative means in that columns only zero values are present, so we have dropped that columns. In the database there are some missing values which are called as NaN values. So we have calculated how many occurrences are there of missing values. So these are the occurrences where missing values are present. But in J column, there are 376 missing values. The whole data set is of 452 instances, and out of 452, 376 are of missing values. So it is not possible to calculate with this distortion. So we have eliminated that column. We have plotted histogram to calculate the missing values. Observing the histogram, the distribution of histogram is skewed. So we have implemented the strategy median to calculate the missing values. After using simple imputer, we have calculated the missing values. Now there are no missing values. These are the target variables of the machine learning algorithm. This is the actual implementation of the machine learning algorithm. The whole data set is splitted into training and testing, where training data set is of 70% and testing set is of 30%. These are the dimensions of training and testing data set. These are the target variables, while these are the um input variables to the a model where in testing data set there are 73 normal instances while the risk instances are 63. uh, the binary classification is carried out using random forest classifier. In random forest classifier, the whole data set is randomly sampled and fed to the decision trees. And the decision trees output is then averaged, and that would be the output of the random forest classifier. In random forest classifier, we have tuned the hyperparameters, which are n estimators, giving 10. These are the 10 decision trees where the data set is then fed. After tuning the hyperparameters, we have fitted the model and predicted using the testing model, sorry, testing data set. Then uh, we have calculated the performance metric using confusion matrix. This is the confusion matrix, and the accuracy of the model without feature selection is 72.06 centimeter. Sorry, it's percentage. After that, uh, there are very different ranges of values. Like if we consider in sex, that the value ranges from 0 to 85. And if we consider height, it ranges from 0 to 66, 600 centimeter. So using min-max scaling technique, we have normalized the data features. These are the actual ranges and these are the normalized ranges. For analyzing the features, we have used chi-square test. In this chi-square test, the scores has been calculated. Higher the score, higher the feature relevancy. So some scores are almost zero, so we have to eliminate that scores. So eliminate that scores. After that, uh, for uh, this is the model using a normalized data set. We have fitted the model using random forest classifier. For feature selection, we have used recursive feature elimination. In recursive feature elimination, the classifier used is random forest classifier, where nfit will be given to select the best features from the data set. After that, it will fit the model and calculate the accuracies. So best accuracy will be calculated. So the highest accuracy has been obtained with the 40 features. With 40 features, then we again calculated the again implemented the classification. Now the percent sorry now the percentage of the accuracy is 83.09%. So from this classification using without feature selection, the percentage is 72.06%, while classification much with feature selection is 83.09%. Here the performance of the model has been increased. After that, we have given a sample input to the classifier for testing the model, and it is correct, that is the person is at risk. The next will be explained by Mayank.
Thank you, Amrita and Prajakta, for the explanation. So now I will just conclude the project. That during this project, we have done that, like we have cleaned the data, and after cleaning of the data, we have used random forest algorithm, and we have splitted the data set into training and test set, and we have obtained a confusion matrix and also the accuracy of the same. But as Amrita explained, that the features had many ranges, so we had to normalize, and normalization step was implemented so that all the features are on the same scale. Later on, as you have seen that there were many redundant features, so we have used RFE to get the best features, and those best features were then fitted into the random forest algorithm, and then we have obtained a better confusion matrix and accuracy of the newer version of the model. Now I will talk about the future scope. So the future scope of our project can be extended with other technologies like IoT biomedical devices. So they are a huge, they are of huge number in market. So it can be, integrated with that, and data can be acquired. Also, cloud-based computing. We can deploy the model on cloud and then later used by the hospital and clinics, also for diagnostic centers. This will create a huge ecosystem between patients and doctors, and also encourage research and development with the generated data. And our system is not time bound. The scope of the solution is broad with respect to forward compatibility. Also, it touches a large region involving CVDs. So yeah, with this, I would like to conclude the project that with the help of machine learning, it can play a very vital role in healthcare scenario. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you have understood our project, and see you later.